Alright, happy Monday everybody. Hope you all had a good weekend and went over some charts and prepared for a good week this week. I ended up having a bet day on Friday. It wasn't anything too bad, but we'll go over some of that. And I did end up having a pretty good day today, so we made back what we lost on Friday and then some. So we'll go over some of the trades I took on Friday and today, but we're up $380 today. The account's at $27.64. So I did take out $1,000 from this account on Friday because I rely on my trading for my income, so I have to pay my bills and also put some in long-term investment. But yeah, we'll just go over some of the trades I took on Friday and today and see if we can learn anything from it. Before we do that, let's go over to the economic calendar and see what's going on this week, because it's always a good idea, especially in the beginning of the week, but to mark your calendars or at least keep in mind what's going on this week, because some of this stuff can really change the market. And especially, so the main thing this week is going to be on Wednesday. We have our Fed day. So that's when the Federal Reserve will decide what they're going to do with the interest rates and also have their press conference. And that'll be, the rate decision is at 2 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, and then they release a statement at 2 o'clock as well, and then 2:30 is the press conference. So the interest rates are pretty much locked. If you come over here to the Fed rate monitoring tool, it's a 99.4% chance that we're going to stay where we're at. So very likely not going to have much impact on the Fed rate. However, the press conference is going to have a huge impact, because this is going to be the first press conference that Kevin Warsh is giving. So we'll see what he has to say, how he thinks differently than Jerome Powell did. The Fed press conference this week is the main thing that we're going to want to pay attention to this week. So just make sure Wednesday afternoon. I expect tomorrow, usually going up into a big event like this, the market tends to chill out a little bit just to wait and see what's going to happen. But we'll see what tomorrow does, but I probably won't be trading anything Wednesday afternoon, so we'll see. But let's go over some of the trades I took Friday and today and see what we can learn. So Friday, I took 2 losses on Friday. Let's go over those first. So if you've been I've been watching this Palantir this whole time for a while already. So why have I been watching Palantir? Well, as you know, I'm a supply and demand trader. So can you see this supply zone? We have a very obvious level of supply here on Palantir. We've come down to this area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times now. We've come down to this area and bounced off of it. So I've been watching this pullback come down here to this level, and I wanted to go long whenever we got down to this. So we have this insane support level here. We have big bullish volume come off this level the last time we were down here. Then we had lower bearish volume as we pulled back to this level. And that's always what you want to see. You want to see strong bullish volume, weak bearish volume if you want to go long. And I don't think I've talked about this indicator yet, so I don't use very many indicators. But one indicator that I'll look at every once in a while, I usually check it. It's kind of more of a confirmation thing. I don't base my trades off of it, but it does help me to have more conviction in my trades. So it's called the ADL line. Some charts have the same line. It's called the CMF line, I think, shock and money flow or something like this. This is the ADL accumulation distribution line. It basically shows you the institutional buying. So if this line is going up, it means there's more buying going on than selling, or vice versa, obviously. So whenever you see a what do you call it, a diversion like this, so see this level, we're going flat here. We come down to this exact same level, but this line continues to go up. If I put a trend line on here, this line keeps trending up. That means there's still more people buying than selling. Yet we're back down to the same level. So that is a pretty good indicator that this level is going to hold. It's not a guarantee, but if this is trending up and the stock is going sideways, that's a pretty good bullish sign. And the same can be true for the down. If this line had been trending down, I would have thought this level might break. But being that this is trending up, our volume is bullish, I was expecting a bounce from this area. Now, this was one of my losing trades on Friday. So we came down on Friday, we tapped this level, and I thought we were going to bounce off of it. So let's switch to the 15-minute, come over here to the Friday morning. We came down here, tapped it. I entered down here. I entered here for a long. And this is crazy. I have never seen a sideways chop like this. I mean, all day Friday we chopped sideways in this like 50-cent range. And so the theta decay just burnt my contracts, and I ended up getting out of this at the end of the day for a little loss. It wasn't major, but just would not get moving on Friday. So took a loss on that on Friday, but this was my top watch this morning. Then we gapped up this morning, and initially I have to watch myself sometimes because this really pissed me off. So if I would have held my contracts over the weekend, I would have been up good this morning. But we gapped up, so I was like, okay, readjust my game plan. I wanted to get it down here, but I figured with this strong gap up, it's not going to come back down. So the next level we have is this double top from Thursday. So I watched that. As soon as we had this big lower wick and we held above this level from Thursday, I entered long here today. And then that ended up being a really nice play. So this is just an example of staying persistent, not giving up on a trade. So Friday I tried this. I thought we're going long. I ended up taking a loss on it, but I didn't give up on the play. I watched it this morning. I was able to capitalize on this. So that ended up being a really nice trade. We had ADLs continuing to curl up. We got big green volume. And let's turn on the EMA. We're right at the EMA now. So this is still going to be a top watch for me from now on. Like I'm going to play this all the way up here to this next level. So keep Palantir and watch for tomorrow, or even the next couple weeks. I'm going to watch this one for a continuation up here until this level. So had a loss on Palantir on Friday, made it back today, and we're going to keep watching this for a move on up here. The next one I want to look at is Netflix. So remember, we were looking at this sideways consolidation here on Netflix last week. I mean, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days inside this zone, and on Friday it broke down under this zone, and I jumped on this. So first come in here, marked the low of the day on Thursday. We broke under that on Friday, broke down under it. We came up, rejected off this blue line was Thursday's low. We pushed up into there. Friday I took a short here, and it just popped back up over, and as soon as it held this EMA, it stopped me out, so I took a loss. So Friday I took a loss on that Palantir long attempt, and I took a loss on the Netflix short attempt. So Friday wasn't a very fun day, but both of these I got good entries, so my losses were both minimal. My goal is to never lose more than $100 a trade. I think Netflix I took like a $60 loss, and then on Palantir I took like a $120 loss. So in total I lost like $180 on Friday. So I wasn't too upset with it. Just this is a perfect example of no setup is ever going to work 100% of the time. All you got to do is your level. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you get out. And that's exactly what I did here. I'll take this trade every time. Mark the low of the day before. We pushed up, and we even had a nice wick off. That means this looked like a perfect entry, but the trade didn't work, and it stopped me out. So the old me would have refused to stop out here because I was so convicted that my trade was going to work, but as soon as it wasn't working, I need to get out, and it saved me a boatload of money. And today, I was watching Netflix too, because we had this nice red day yesterday, but now we're right back into this zone. Now we're starting to see this line curling up. We saw some green volume coming in, so maybe Netflix is trying to bottom out here. So I think Netflix might be on watch for a long one of these next days. If we can break up out of this zone, I might take a Netflix long sometime this week, but we'll see. We'll wait for it to happen. I'm not going to predict it until I see it happening. So what else? So Palantir lost on Friday, won today. Netflix lost on Friday, This one I took a loss on today. Salesforce, same thing here. A lot of big support level. Nice lower wick on Friday. Thought we're gonna move higher today. But see here's what I'm talking about with the ADL line. See how bottom, but see how now, instead of trending up like Palantir was, this line continues to trend down. We had this nice spike here, but we're still back lower than we were. So this made it weaker. Blue line, high of Friday, take to the 15-minute chart, broke above the blue line and had a nice bull flag going on here. So if you look here, the 15-minute, that was a nice bull flag going on right here. And we broke out. I took a long. I figured we'd at least come up and fill this gap. But again, so my first alarm here was this bull flag breakout on this candle at lower volume. So that's my first sign that it's not going to work. But took this, didn't work, fell back below, got out. Very minimal loss, like $50 loss here. So that's another example of a good looking trade that just didn't work. You get out. So took a loss on that today. And then Google was another one that I have been watching for long, because we came down. See this gap back here? Gaps are one of my favorite things to watch for. We have this big gap back here. We came down, we held the bottom gap of this gap. Then Thursday we had this big lower wick to come down, sweep some of these lower areas, holding the gap, and I was ready for this one long. And this morning marked the high of Friday, broke above there, held this level twice. So I took a long on Google here. It was just this was a short, quick play because I didn't like the first 15-minute wicked way up here and came back down. So I don't like seeing these big over wicks. This gave me a little bit of a hesitation, but I took a half a position size. I took 2 contracts. I knew this was a low conviction trade. I like the daily chart. I like the long. I like it how it held yesterday's high or Friday's high. But I didn't like the upper wick, so it wasn't an A plus setup. This was more of a B plus or a B setup. So I only went half position size. Got in here, got out at the high of the day. It was a nice little trade, but seeing this upper wick made me nervous about holding for a long. But so I took profits as soon as we got up here. So that was about it. A lot of good looking setups out there still. The market is already pushing up towards all-time highs. So we'll see what tomorrow. Microsoft, I've been wanting Microsoft long this was my top watch this morning. I wanted to get Microsoft long, but that thing got away from me too fast. First 15-minute candle shot up here like $5, and I was a little scared to take that long up here. And I was already in the Palantir trade. It was working out, so I didn't take Microsoft. So that one got away from me. That would have been a good trade. But this is another one that I'm going to continue watching long. If it can get over today's high tomorrow, I might watch this for long. But I think Microsoft has a chance to get back up into the mid 400s. So definitely going to be watching that. Amazon, still looking a little weak, but we'll see what happens on that one. Intel double topped up here today. This one's going to be top of my watch list the next couple days. See if it can break out of is that an all-time high? That's good. Yeah, I think that's an all-time high on Intel. They've had some good news lately. I think Nvidia, or is it Broadcom, some of these other chip companies are starting to make deals with Intel. So we'll watch this closely tomorrow. It might be a double top, or it might be an all-time high breakout. We'll see. If this breaks out of this level, take a long. If it starts drifting back down here, we might have to look into shorting Intel. So Intel's one we can watch both ways. Tesla, I don't trade Tesla that much because it's too expensive, but that one's looking good. SpaceX, that's the one everybody was watching. Still, I'm surprised it's still up here. Still a lot of demand there. We'll see. I'm not going to trade this one anytime soon, but I'm expecting to see a pretty good sell-off here sometime. I expect a lot of people to start to take profits at some point, but still moving up now. AMD had another all-time high today. That one's way too expensive to trade too. So, yeah, that's about what's going on here. I think my top watches for tomorrow are going to be Palantir, Google, Apple, Netflix, Microsoft. Amazon, I don't know what to do with Amazon. Amazon is it's been a tough one to trade, but still looking pretty weak, but we'll see. Netflix has frustrated me so many times. I feel like I need to get a good trade on Netflix to be happy. I feel like I need some revenge against Netflix. It's been so tough to trade. But I really think we're gonna see a big move on Netflix one of these days, but who knows when. I'm really liking starting to think about a long on Netflix. See, we had this. Let's get me some of my lines out of the way. Back here in February, we had this consolidation sideways period right here, and we exploded out of this area. We went from $80 all the way up to $100 in about a week out of this zone right here. And now we're right back here, tested the top of this zone on Friday, bounced off of it. The ADL is starting to curl, starting to see a little bit of bullish volume. I'm going to turn on the MACD. Not much happening there. So, yeah, we'll see. I think we might definitely going to be watching Netflix for long. Starting to like what I see there. Let's go take a look at crypto. It's getting a good bounce. There you had a pop today. Come on, XRP. What you doing up there? Man, I want XRP all the way down here, but yeah, it looks like we're getting some strength back into crypto. See what the Chinese names are doing. Indua, Baidu, Baba. I used to like to try to trade these, but these charts just look like shit. So yeah, I won't be touching any Chinese names anytime soon. Oil's been on a free fall. It's about damn time these oil prices start showing up on the gas pumps. Anybody else notice how the oil prices go up and the gas prices at the pump shoot up, and as soon as the oil comes back down, it takes them forever to come down at the gas pumps? Yeah, oil has been hit pretty good. It sounds like they're having a deal put in place in Iran, so that's good. So anyway, that's all I got for today. We'll see y'all tomorrow.